And what's up, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Put It in Book Show. This is season number 3, episode 11 already in season 3. It's kind of a little crazy stuff out there. Another edition of Coronavirus Theater this week, Mets edition. So let's do a little round robin here and introduce my buddies here. I got Rodriguez right over here to my left. Boom, boom.
Boom, boom.
A little producer Joe right down beneath me. And right down here,
the floating head.
the found head of the Headless Horseman, Mr. Keith Laris.
Can you wave to them for me?
Oh. Very good.
I was trying to let him use his hands because I'm just the head.
That's very nice of him.
Nice way to get ahead.
That's but I'm. All right. As we typically do here, I'm going to share us out, and Keith is going to run us through just the best coffee out there. It's tremendous coffee. Just the most unbelievably tremendous coffee.
You trying to do chomp? Are you chomping?
Tremendously tremendous. There's no better coffee than Brooklyn Water coffee.
Bigly.
Outstanding.
There's this tremendous, it's really, really good coffee. It's called Brooklyn Water, coffeeroasters.com. From their roaster to your front door. Check them out now. Visit their website, www.brooklynwatercoffeeroasters.com.
Multiple coms.
It's my go-to coffee. You hear this from us every week, but it's really true. It's my go-to coffee. I drink it at least twice a day. Right now I'm still working through my Drunken Pig, finish my morning wood, and heading over to Cinnabuzz. Get it? Can I get a sip? Sure.
Wow.
But there's a world of flavors. Check out their website. There's a high energy line of coffee called some of the high energy line of coffees is 50% more caffeine. It's called Jacked Up Cupcake, which is like what we call. Oh, thanks. That was nice of you, Rodriguez over there. Cinnabuzz is part of the high energy line. There's also the medium roast chocolate, dark roast dark chocolate, which is one of the hands down most popular flavors. And all of these delicious treats have how many calories, Farace?
Zero.
Oh, thanks. That was nice.
Hey, for those of us that like to drink coffee at night, do they have a decaf?
I believe they do. I'm not sure. I don't drink decaf, but I'm imagining they do. Does anybody else know?
Decaf is for girls.
I would love to hear the answer to that before next week.
Yeah, you right. So you can have a glass of decaf with your old duels. But there's also a whole there's a lot of
Dasani water.
Checking them out. And if you act now, last week too, or the week before that, or even 3 weeks before that, and use the code Stay Home, all capital letters, you'll get your third bag free. But you can't be a cheap ass. You still need to buy two. www.brooklynwatercoffeeroasters.com from the roaster to your front door. All coffee is guaranteed to ship. Oh, that was really cool. Like this dude is good. He's in sync with my.
The hands are good.
Yeah. All orders are guaranteed to ship within 24 hours of its roast date. So that means it gets to you nice and fresh. You can get a drip, which is ground coffee. Oh, can you scratch my nose? Oh, that was nice of you. They also have full bean if you like to ground your own coffee.
I'm hoping he's talking to the dog.
You hear my dog?
I hope it's your dog. Oh, okay.
Ruger. It's not his first appearance on the show.
No, absolutely not.
Anyway, BrooklynWaterCoffeeRoasters.com from their roaster to your front door. Check them out now. And their prices are, come on, Arms, you can do it, insane.
You look like Crazy Eddie.
Crazy Eddie.
We got
nice
fans.
little blast.
We got DVD, no, they didn't have DVD. I don't think they had. I guess they did have VCRs back then, right?
Back then, yeah.
VCRs, of course, I have VCRs. What's the matter with you?
Let's do a show, fellas. Let's do a show.
Do it.
First, before we get started, let's give a little happy birthday out to a couple of our favorite people in Metsville. And Joe, don't worry, you're not going to be covered up for long here. If you want to do you want to do anything illegal right now? Now's your chance.
Really bad things. Don't take that off without telling me.
All right, so Gary with a birthday, Jerry with a birthday. So that's all good stuff.
Love Gary.
Gary has a birthday?
Gary has a birthday. Happy birthday, Gary.
You should have put the picture of Gary with the mullet.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good picture.
Newman. All right, we're gonna come off of this, everybody out there. We're gonna go back to our normal layout here.
Let's do it.
Everybody a chance. Are we ready to see Producer Joe again?
I'm prepared.
I am.
All right, we're back.
There he is. Wow.
LaDonna, what's up? Timmy, what's up? Maureen, what's up?
LaDonna.
We are the clowns. This is a 4-clown show here. Even more clownier through quarantine. You know, it's all good stuff. But we do have a few things to talk about this week. What not that the news here is completely Mets specific here, but like we've been talking about the last few weeks, will we have baseball in 2020? So I think we all saw that we took a step in the right direction as it comes to potential baseball in 2020. Actually, a lot of the sources are coming out as saying, it's guaranteed that baseball is going to happen, and it's going to happen by today. I read this morning by July 2nd, which is kind of around the timeline that we spoke about last week. All-Star break, right before All-Star break, get some spring training stuff in. But then comes the new potential realignment. So I feel with this realignment, they're getting a little bit more confident that what they're discussing with the Center for Disease Control is actually going to kind of pan out. The newest alignment doesn't have just the games in Arizona or just the games in Florida, but a complete realignment from east to west that we used to have. Back in the day, we had American League East, East and West. Then we added the Central. So now we have the East, the West, and the Central all combined, American League and National League. So let me get this banner down here so I can pull it up so we can take a little closer look and see what the proposed divisions would look like here. Let me get this going here.
We were in the same division as the Yankees.
Yeah, so let's go bottom to top here. The Central, and one important thing to put out there right now is that there's no playoff discussion of exactly how that's going to work. Although I would assume that it's maybe 3 teams from each division, something along those lines. Maybe they're going to expand playoffs this year, but that kind of stuff has not been talked about. But just looking at how level the playing field is. So in the Central, you'd have the Braves. Remember when the Braves were in the National League West?
West, yeah.
Everybody did a great job with the geography on that. But you got the Braves, the Brewers, the Cardinals, the Cubs, the Indians, all good to playoff caliber teams. Then you got the Reds, much improved. The Royals, absolute trash right now. They're going through a downturn here.
They deserve it.
They do. They really do. The Tigers also. Tigers might be the worst team in baseball now that the Marlins, some of the younger guys, are starting to come up, and maybe 4 or 5 more wins from them this year. The 101. It's very easy to forget that the Twins won 101 games last year, but they did. And then the up and coming White Sox, who spent a lot of money in the offseason, doesn't always equate to wins, as we well know. But the division, the Central Division, seems pretty well balanced. What do you guys think?
I like it. It's really new. I mean, honestly, all these teams playing each other, totally different rivalries are going to start to come up. In our division, I mean, if you want, let's just stay in the Central. I mean, you got the Astros. They're still a potent team. You know, I mean, they cheated. They cheated. Yeah, they cheated. They cheated in the playoffs. Yeah,
The Astros are in the West, bro.
Oh, we're talking about Central. I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah.
My bad. Still applies, actually. Stinking Braves get to play the Brewers, get to play the Cards. That'd be nice. The Braves and the Cards just beating each other up. The Cubs, you know. The Reds, like they're up and coming, like you said. Yeah, it's a fair division. You got a few scrubs that you can take a break on. You know,
like the Royals and the Tigers.
The Tigers and the Royals. You know, you can take a break on them. Even sometimes Cleveland. You know, they can go a little bit stale, but the other ones,
depending on movement, Lindor, and all that stuff, trades during the regular season. But
it's a very competitive division, I think. I mean, you know, you could get 3 teams out of there with 85 wins. You know, the Braves. The Braves are going to be looking for 85. The Cards are almost
85 wins out of a 100-game season. 85 wins.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. I'm thinking a full season.
A full season.
100-game season. I think the Braves are looking to get 60 to 70, somewhere in there.
70, I agree.
Yeah, 70 wins out of 100.
You think the Braves play 700 ball in that division?
Sure, why not? The Braves are really, really good, man.
I think the Braves are the best team in that division for sure.
The Braves and then the Cardinals are right up their butt. The
I think Cincinnati's up their butt, actually. I think Cincinnati's ahead of St. Louis in that division.
They haven't proved crap.
No, they haven't. But
so
here, my thought is
anyway. LaDonna,
LaDonna says the Cardinals would still dominate, but my thought here is that you could have
garbage.
You know, 6 teams within like 4 games of each other because of Kansas City and Detroit are the the clear low guys on the totem pole there, but and the White Sox and the Reds, maybe Cleveland in that next realm there, but in Cardinals are always good. They find a way to be good. The Cubs maybe fell back a little bit last year, but I think you get a lot. 6 of those teams within like a 4-game stretch of each other.
Yeah, I'd say 5 are playoff caliber teams in that division.
Yeah, no,
did they paint the picture on how the playoff picture is going to look in this scenario?
No, they haven't talked about the playoff situation yet. I would, in a normal season, what do we have? 6 playoff teams from each league, right?
Yep.
So I would imagine they would go with 12.
Isn't it 5 from each league?
The 5 from each league. The wild
5. Sorry about that. Sorry. But I think in the shortened season they're trying to make things a little bit more interesting and going maybe with more playoff teams. So I would say at least I would think you would go with 4 from each division and potentially having 2 with a first round bye. I'm making stuff up now. So.
Oh, okay. I'm looking into you like you.
I'm just saying. Typically we have 10 playoff teams.
They've been discussing expanding the playoff scenario
right
if they do the shortened season. Yeah. Sure.
So, all right. So let's move on to the West now. You got Oakland who proves to figure out how they they pull out decent seasons all the time. San Francisco is probably on the downturn right now. They're up and down with the even and odd number of years as typical. The Angels brought in Rendon, but still the question mark on the pitching. Dodgers are outstanding, as we all know. They got Trout. San Diego. It feels like even though when they spend their money, they still just become like this sub-mediocre team. Arizona, we know.
Not below, right? They never get up there.
Yes, yeah. And I don't know where that is. Like a few years back, they've done this like every 4 or 5 years where they just are all in, spend all this money, and win 82 games, right?
Yeah, they're the Mets of the 90s.
Yeah, in the 90s.
Ugh.
Hey,
Well,
Kyle, listen
I
with the
think
Dodgers put in the
they've
books.
done a much better job than they have in the past of building their farm system and kind of trying to, maintain their talent and bring them up. So it looks like their plan this time is a little better. So hopefully we'll see how it.
Screw
And
Tatis Jr. He's gonna be a thorn in our side for years, for
Right.
freaking years.
No.
Screw him.
Arizona, they're looking better. Colorado is hit or miss.
Arizona's looking better. How?
They some of their prospects are coming up. Who did they
They're
sign?
looking like a 71 team to me.
Arizona?
Yeah, 70. Okay, I forgot. In 100-win baseball.
Oh,
Yeah,
100 game season,
40
they're 40
a
wins.
41 team.
Yeah.
I don't remember how they fared last year. I'll try and pull that up. But
The only
anyway,
dominant team in there is LA. The only team that I'm really scared of every single time I play them is LA. Otherwise, everybody else in that division in the West can beat each other up.
1000%.
I don't see anyone there that looks that amazing other than LA.
I'd love to see Houston and LA play each other. There'd be some serious beef in there.
There will be
serious implications, cheating.
This is gonna have a lot of mental stuff going on. This year.
If they had to play each other 10 plus times or something, or maybe 8. I'm not quite sure of the math, but still, that's a fair amount of times. You'll get to see, how their true feelings are underneath in LA.
Agree, Keith. But honestly, the biggest beneficiary of this entire delayed, shortened season are the Astros, and it pisses me off. I mean, they're not.
People are not gonna forget, Joe. Don't believe
they're not getting. They're not getting the crap they should be getting, and
Yeah.
Well, I think you agree with Kyle there. Kyle says in the comments, don't forget. Don't think we forgot what you did because of this COVID-19. We know what you did.
That's right, Kyle.
Okay.
We know what.
I actually agree with Kyle. Okay, that's cool for a change. But
Out
of that whole division, LA jumped out at me, man. I mean, that's like bang. I mean, that one just feels unevenly weighted. The Central kind of feels like it's a competitive division with a decent equal amount of scrubs for everybody to fatten up on, but the West just looks like floppy to me.
I think it's a better division because LA's the star, and if they have a slip up, any one of those teams are good. They're all fairly good teams except for San Fran. Everybody else has really upgraded themselves. Seattle's getting those rookies coming up. They're young teams, they're hungry teams, so they're not going to probably do anything to LA, but they can beat each other up and they can learn how to play. And if LA slips up, I could see the A's. A's always find a way to win. They just keep winning with the good farm system, the good scouts. They do their thing, man. Oakland's you can't forget about Oakland. They're always right there. And Trout and with those Angels, I mean, forget about it.
Who's the third baseman now? I mean, they're stacked in
the Angels, right?
Rendon.
Good point. Rendon is their third baseman. Come on.
We
Trout,
know
Rendon.
all too well about Rendon and what he's capable of doing.
He's solid.
Yeah, he's
His
Captain
WAR
Douche.
is something like 7.0. It's like ridiculous. I mean,
that's a huge signing for them. If they can get some pitching, what's his name's back this year as a pitcher?
Japanese dude.
Yeah, I don't know why I can't think of his name right now. But anyway, so yeah, I mean it's the division shows, as last year the Dodgers ran away by 21 games over the second place Diamondbacks. So the Dodgers won 106 games last year, 85 for the Diamondbacks, and then it drops into the 70s for everybody else. 77 for the Giants, 71 for the Rockies, Padres with 70 wins. I see they didn't get any pitching. I remember I said if they got some pitching, they win a lot more games than they did the previous year. The Astros 107 wins, cheaters. Athletics 97 wins, and then it's a huge drop off there. The Rangers, the Angels, and the Mariners with 78, 72, and 68 wins.
They've all improved slightly. So I mean, I like it. I think it's a very competitive division.
Yep. All right, and then
I'd say LA, A's, Astros. in that order.
Yeah.
Those will be my top three with the Angels nipping at their heels, and then followed by San Diego.
Angels get upset. They're stacked, right? Absolutely.
Yep.
But
Rodriguez, I agree 100% with what you just said.
Don't talk to me, Farace. Stop talking to me right now.
I know how that gets you excited. All right, and then the last division. Save the best for last, right here, baby.
Right.
New York Mets division. Baltimore, Scrubs, Boston. We'll see. They lose Mookie Betts.
They're gonna be scrubs.
Pittsburgh,
Mediocre.
69 wins last year. The Marlins.
Mediocre.
Marlins won 57 games last year.
They smell.
57 games, dude. That was 162 game season.
And
In a 100 game season, the Marlins get 25 wins.
Yeah, Baltimore Marlins under 25 wins.
Let's let that happen. A whole bunch of teams are going to beat our record. We don't just worry about the asterisk later. You know, a whole bunch of teams are going to win less than 40 games.
I don't care what you call it. If we start playing baseball, it's on like Donkey Kong.
Boom.
Okay.
All right, so the Marlins, the Mets, the Skanks are in our division. The Filth is in our division. The Rays, again, just like they're the what do you say, 1A or maybe the one in the American League when it comes to always figuring out a way to be good. Them and the Angels.
Then the American League, Oakland A's. No, I mean they're both American League. They're like the A's.
American League.
Yeah. You know, they're like the.
You disagreed with me again? I said Oakland and the Rays.
Oh my God!
Wow,
right.
He literally just said that.
The Blue Jays, who won 67 games but have brought in a couple of guys, so they might be marginally better. And then, I hate to say it this way, but the world champs, the Nats.
Why did you have to say it that way?
Gotta give credit where it's due.
Shut up.
All right, so let's say we get 4 teams from each division. Keith, who do you see as the 4 teams making the playoffs in the East?
4. Okay, I was thinking 3, but 4. Probably in this order. I'm gonna say Yankees.
Ugh.
Don't kill me. Tampa, Mets, Nationals.
That's fair.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fair. It's fair to flare.
Woo!
Woo! So it just seems as though it's going to be really just 10 games against each team, about 100 games, 10 teams in each division. So maybe a few more per team.
Right? Are they going to go outside the division?
No interdivisional.
I think I remember seeing just so that they can travel up and down the coast.
That's it.
Or up and down the Central and whatnot. And then, the hope is by the time October comes along, we're in a much better situation when it comes to the virus as a country. And then you can start flying to other cities and whatnot. But again, no fans.
No fans.
It just is what it is at this point that these leagues have to come back.
And the playoffs could be in alternate sites. It wouldn't even be home game. Just as long as it's a warm city like Florida, down here, Marlins Stadium, probably be down here playing.
Let's do it.
Sure.
Let's do it. It's like the World Baseball Classic at that point, right?
Pretty much.
Right. Yeah,
It'll be the Bleach Bowl.
Baseball.
Oh yeah, and I wonder if they'll do all 7 games if it goes that far in one stadium. I mean, makes sense, right? Neutral site. If it happens to be East to playing the West, or I'm curious. I want this to pan out, and I want them to paint that picture so I can see exactly how this is going to look.
Yeah, and if you guys want to talk about anything that we're discussing right now, feel free to give us a call 718-577-1275 is the number.
Timmy,
Cardinals suck. Forget.
Timmy, call in, Timmy.
Yankees suck.
So
All
we're
right,
going to continue on this discussion for a moment or two, and then we're going to talk about free agents that we want to potentially sign in the offseason. So if that's something you want to talk about, save it for that. Give us a call then, and then towards the tail end, we're going to talk about the Mets Mount Rushmore. So 4 guys to make up the Mets Mount Rushmore. That seems to be a trend on the SNY network, and I
Following a trend.
some of the responses, but we'll do our own here, and so. And Keith, you said the Yankees, the Rays, the Mets, and the Nats. So does everybody agrees with that? I would think so.
I'm okay with that.
I don't see how you get 4 teams out of every division for the playoffs, but if it was
12
teams, I agree. 12 teams in the playoffs?
That's what you guys are putting out there, right?
Oh, that's me. I don't know. I don't know what way they're gonna head in, but
you have no facts. Oh, great.
No, but my thought was that every report I hear is expanding the playoffs. So in a typical season, we get 10. Do they expand it by a couple? 4 to each division. We get 12. Maybe it's more than that.
Series, yeah.
It's like a lot of games.
Or you're throwing in a bye, either one or the other.
Right.
It's gonna finish really late the season.
Or I also read somewhere where the potential, if they expand the number of teams, that the first round might be best 2 out of 3, and the whole series is in that city. So if the Mets and the Rays were in the playoffs against each other, then whoever had the better record, Rays have a better record. Mets head to Tampa so that we can go to the games to play a 3-game set with the Rays down here, in Tampa.
Yeah, one of the games are going to be limited capacity. It's just, there's a lot of questions. And,
there's a lot of questions.
Yeah, I mean, and they seem to be throwing out ideas that nobody even thought of, like this 3-division, 10 teams. So we'll see. I'm very curious to see how it pans out. So
it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And as long as it's okay, we preached last week, safety first. So if this causes any safety concerns, kind of nix it. But they seem to be working really closely with the Center for Disease Control, and they're making their recommendations. And if they're going by the recommendations, then let's do it. I don't care. I'll watch a Mets and Braves game with no fans in the seats. I don't care.
Not in our division. You can't watch them.
Oh, sorry, the Braves. Sorry, you're right.
If I recall, last week, Rodriguez was very purist and opposed to any modification, shortening the season, doubleheaders, shortened games. You still feel that way?
Not true. I'm against making it a 7-inning game for sure. I'm against that 100%. I'm against robot umpires. I'm against that. Anything else that can get this game going, such as universal DH, expanding the rosters, playing less games, realigning the divisions like they have it, like we just talked about. Those are fantastic ideas. And to be safe during the reopening, it sounds good to me. But
a little bit of news here. There are sources out there are saying that minor league teams are being notified there will not be a minor league season this year.
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah.
And so, that works with the expanded rosters. So maybe each team can carry 40 guys, and you grab your AAA guys, whoever's going to be up on the roster. The only thing is that with that, how do you guys stay ready? If I know we'll expand rosters, let's say to 40. Again, I'm just throwing numbers out there because nothing's nothing's concrete. But Rodriguez is gone. Let me add this guy back. He's here. Hey, welcome back.
Hey, sorry about that. I don't know what I did.
Look, there's a chair in Citi Field.
The floating head is back.
What was I saying? Oh, okay. So like just like they would have to expand it and even double the size of the roster, because then how are you going to really stay ready, and where are you going to call them up from? Are the minor league guys going to be at home? So like if the Mets need somebody, do they have to call them from their home in California to take a cross flight trip? Those are like Joe, those are little details that have to be thought of,
Well, yeah.
Wrap them up in bubble wrap and ship them.
The whole travel secretary and George Costanza need to figure that all out. That's what they get.
Can't stand you.
Tell them to play with plastic bags over their heads.
They don't have to do that.
In Atlanta, they do.
Mummify them as you transport them from city to city. Wrap them up in your
technology. Walt Disney them and then transport them.
That's it.
In South Korea, they started their exhibition games, and everything seemed.
Nobody cares if those guys get it.
That's where they go. What do you?
That's why they're out there right now.
There's Americans out there. Dan Straley. Yeah, Dan. There's.
That's your
the guys
fault,
who don't
man.
listen. Where do you think the guys go that can't get a contract here no more? Because MLB.
That's not my problem. That's Dan Straley's problem. Screw him. That's on him.
Oh, good stuff right there.
Having the whiskey, Steve.
Well, he's been having the red wine, no? You got the red wine today, or what do you got?
No, I do have some big Moscato.
A call.
We got a call. You are live on the Put in the Book show. Let's talk some baseball here.
What's up, fellas?
Hey, it's Timmy.
What's up, buddy?
What's going on, guys? How's it going?
Good, bro. How you doing, man?
It's going. Talking a little bit about some of the divisions and potentials for the season, now that it looks like it's nearly 100% likely that we'll have baseball. I guess just thinking through some of the rules, some of the divisions, some of the playoff stuff, how many players did they get, the roster size, all that good stuff.
Yeah, it's a crazy ass world we're living in right now. I can't stand it. I'm about done with it. Very, very done with it. But whatever gets us baseball back and football and all that stuff is good to me.
Yeah, it's funny that football has been put on like the back burner as far as we should be good by then, but it doesn't sound like the comfort level. I think that's the most important thing. When will the comfort level for us come back to the point where we are willing to sit in with 65,000 people at a football game or 45,000 people at a baseball game?
Not this season.
Yeah, it's going to be a while. I'm already extremely paranoid, and I could see me wearing the mask and the gloves probably for another year before I get comfortable enough to take this crap off, because I've been to hell and I've seen hell, and it's not fun.
Yeah, but Timmy, how do you feel about watching games with no fans there?
Hello?
How do you feel about watching games with no fans?
I only hear you, Steve. I was the only one talking. I only hear you.
You hear me, Tim?
Okay, we'll get this ironed out next time. But Joe wants to know how you feel about watching baseball with no fans.
Whatever. I mean, it sucks because you want to be there, you want to root your team on, you want to. I have tickets for games that are just pretty much useless now. But if it gets us baseball, it gets us baseball. I'm all for it right now. I was agreeing with Rodriguez with some of those changes. I don't like the robot umpire crap. I don't like whatever else they're talking about. But yeah, you gotta get it back. I don't like the division mock-ups either. But if it gets baseball back, fine, I'll take it.
Yeah, it's just gonna be
exactly how I feel, Timmy. 100%.
Yeah, it's gonna be a weird everything. No matter what sports comes back, like hockey just needs to come right back with the playoffs. I feel the NBA. I don't even know how they restart the NBA. Because they can't just start playing the playoffs. Probably hockey either, because they got to get reconditioned unless they've been working at their huge mansion gyms at home. But
most of them have.
Baseball is that sport that will. So they're saying by July 2nd for sure is when we'll get baseball. So they're going to need that like a 2-week period of quote unquote spring training.
Baseball is not as touchy-feely. It's not as touchy-feely as basketball or football.
Right.
Baseball you can play it a little bit detached.
Whole thing. So whatever gets baseball back, I'm all for it at this point.
Yeah. Rodriguez says it's a little bit more touchy-feely baseball than the other sports.
No, the other way.
I'm sorry, I flipped that. Opposite way. But it's the way that we're gonna be moving forward, and it's true of sports. It's true of going out to restaurants. It's true, whether or not we agree with states opening or not, and our stuff. And down here in Florida, you guys, not sure if you saw, but Monday everything's kind of basically going to open up except for our 3 counties down here: West Palm, Broward, and Miami. So the rest of the state is just going to open up.
Didn't you guys just have a massive increase in cases, and it's still going to open up? Or am I wrong?
Yeah. Tuesday, I think we saw the biggest spike in deaths. I think right now we should be more concerned with deaths than cases, and only because as more testing becomes available, more cases are going to pop up.
I think the biggest concern is the gap between healed or recovered, as they call them, patients.
Well, I heard pretty soon they're going to be giving us. There's going to be a guy standing at our door, taking our temperature before we can walk into a building. That's supposed to be happening real soon.
Yeah, they're doing
so
that.
I'm going to rub a little heat pack on my forehead when I get to work, and I can send my ass home for 2 weeks.
It already happens. It already happens at hospitals. We couldn't.
Yeah,
they got to pay me. They sent me home. That's the best part.
You can't hear us, Joe.
Oh,
yeah.
So
yeah. So the guys were talking about how it's happening now. Like at our job, it's a temperature check before entering the building. So.
Well, it's real scary. Like I said, I don't change the subject that much, but it's real scary up here because I asked our union rep why our vacations were taken away, because it doesn't make sense. We have so many people laid off. You would think us going on vacation, you bring off the guys who are getting laid off, they can work a little bit. But the buildings, the companies, the owners aren't paying for cleaning. And they're at the point where they're like, hey, I don't think we need office space anymore because we're doing a great job from sitting home. So now, like, my union and all the companies are getting scared that people are just going to be like, you know what, we don't need office space. We don't need cleaners. We're just going to sit home and do all our work from there from now on. So it's like a real scary thing right now for like us.
Wow.
That just sucks, the situation. All right, so let's Tim, I think I'm gonna let you go because I don't know what's going on here. You know the deal with technical.
Oh, I had one yesterday. It was awesome. I knew it right away. I think it was my new headphones, so I think I forgot to charge them that much. That's why. But real quick, I'm going to give you my Rushmore. I can give you a Mets Rushmore just because I'm a Yankee fan. But I'll give you my Mets Rushmore.
That is hold on. That is very honorable of you.
Like, wow. Look, I can admit, I can give you a Red Sox Rushmore, but that doesn't mean I wouldn't piss on him.
No. Like
he's the only guy we like. He's the only Yankee fan we like.
Rodriguez says you're the only Yankee fan that we like. But if this got put, there's a Yankees Mets rivalry page on Facebook. It's a group. They're probably shitting on us right now. Whoever, if there's any Yankee fans that clicked on it, and they're probably Mount Rushmore. There's no Mount Rushmore for the Mets.
But shut up, skankies. Oh, sorry, Tim.
He's not a skank. He's just Tim.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, Timmy.
True story.
I'm going to give Strawberry, Carter, Piazza, Wright. Those are my 4 guys that I would put up there. I know you got like Seaver and Gooden, but those are the guys. Strawberry especially, because even though I wasn't a Mets fan, I lived in Woodside. I lived, Keith. I lived right down the block from Keith. We had the 7 train. When they went to the World Series that year, you couldn't escape it. And I was a big Strawberry guy. That's why I want Strawberry. And Carter, Carter was the man back in the day. He was awesome. And Piazza and Wright. You can't go wrong with David Wright. So I said that last time. So those are my 4 guys.
That's a real good list.
It's a very good list.
Yeah, the guys are complimenting your list.
For a skanky.
Right. I wish I could hear them.
My voice is better than Rodriguez's.
Yeah.
I could say whatever. I could tell you whatever I want right now. And just hey, Rodriguez said this. Rodriguez.
That's true. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Not cool.
Tim will watch the replay and say, "Steve, you son of a bitch."
At least you can see the replay. Say, "Oh no."
All right, so go through your stuff. Have a good show, and I'll talk to you later.
All right, buddy. Thanks for calling.
Be safe, Timmy.
And as my father said, I don't care who we play, just play ball.
You got me right. I was about to say that. Yeah,
play ball. Play with your ball.
Alan, no, this is not my 718 number. It's the 718 number for the network.
It's trying to
finagled away. Figured out how to do it. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this 718 thing off because I don't want to take any more calls today. Because I don't want to be a middleman messenger. So we'll get that figured out as we figure everything out here.
You know what you need? You need a producer.
I need a producer.
Yeah. Obviously, very obvious.
With that whole coronavirus thing, like just real quick, the biggest thing that concerns me is the gap between confirmed and people who have recovered. It's a big number.
Don't go outside.
You add percentages to that?
Well, because you're looking at a 2-week gap. I mean, there's a 2-week gap between diagnosed and recovered. So.
Yeah.
You can't be discouraged by that because the recovered number is going to go up as the infected number goes down.
Of course it will, but
there's not enough testing.
They're
Everyone has to be tested. That's how we know the numbers.
Welcome to the Mets COVID-19 show.
Yeah, but anyway, listen.
We always got to go.
Everybody else listening is tired of hearing about the COVID-19. I don't even watch TV.
Let's talk Mets.
So let's keep it moving.
Yeah, and Alan, no, we don't. We use it's a software called StreamYard. That's how we do the show here. All right, so let's get to free agency, and then we'll get into our Mount Rushmore. I figured we saved that for last year, but free agency, who we would like to sign. I know that some of the lists out there, you're looking pretty cool there, Rodriguez. Huh?
Holy neon.
Speak to me, my son.
Look at that.
Wow. Straight out of freaking Avengers. Look at you. Nice.
Straight out of Compton.
Nice.
Oh, let's detour for a second. Speaking of Avengers, has nothing to do with the studio I'm going to talk about. But did you guys see that AMC and Regal announced today that they're no longer going to play Universal films in their theaters?
Yes, I did see that. Wow, that was a big deal.
So here's my thought on it, just without even diving into a lot of the stuff. And welcome to the broadcast, Adriana. Said Keith's head looked like he is floating. Well,
he's a fat head.
Yeah, that means he's very expensive. Those fat heads are pricey.
They are expensive. I want to get one of myself. Paste it on my wall.
We should do that. That'll be the first piece of merchandise we do. The put in the books fat heads.
That would be nice.
I mean, we don't even have to make it any bigger than what they are now. Our heads will fit.
But I think, and I don't know how much you guys have read about it, but I think this is an extremely petty move on their part. Like, Universal decided to put out I can't think of the name. It's the animated flick. Put it out on video on demand for $20 a pop. Like, can you blame them in this new world that we're living in? Can you blame them for not wanting to delay this to 2021 and just?
Of course not.
Get any kind of income at all. But honestly, how I feel about it is that this isn't the right show for Marvel Universal talk.
Yes, you're right about that. That was a very nice way to say it.
And quite honestly, the movie.
But I agree with you. I agree with you that I don't blame them at all trying to make some kind of return. And there are plenty of people who are so desperate for the theater films that they are buying them at home. But you know what? Mount Rushmore of Mets if we have enough time. Let's go.
No, let's do free agents real quick. I know there's a hard, it's a little bit of a hard time to seeing some of the free agents out there and whether or not it's updated and whatnot because nobody's writing anything anymore. Write stuff, people. Write stuff.
Let's make stuff up.
So I will start with somebody who is on the team currently, and that is Marcus Stroman. I think he's somebody that we definitely need to re-sign at the end of the year. Our rotation got much more iffier. Creating new words here. With Noah, I almost said Thor, but with all due respect to Rodriguez, I call him Noah. With Noah going down and him questionable through next year, I think it's really got really important to sign Stroman.
He's on my list.
Stroman's on my list.
He's my guy. He's 29 years old, low ERA guy, pitches to contact. I mean, he needs a good infield. We have a good infielder. I think McNeil. I think Rosario. Cano can still play, and the Polar Bear. They're all good. They're solid. They're not the greatest infield, but I think McNeil and Rosario are getting better, and so is the Polar Bear. I think they're getting better, and by the time Cano is ready to go, you're gonna, what I see from them is them bringing up that kid Jimenez, slap him in at second, great glove, slap hitter, great speed, comes in right after Cano. We've got a lot of young guys coming up. So I think
especially this year, Jimenez will be up in an instant.
Jimenez I'm pretty sure he's going to play, right?
Think about that. Think about that. There could be the top 14 guys in AAA making their major league debut this year.
Yeah,
for every team.
For every team. Yeah. I think it's a good thing. So I mean, I can't. I'm 100% in on Stroman, and I love his attitude. I like his heart. 5'8" man to be pitching in the majors and throwing 92, 93 miles an hour, and you're 5'8" in the majors, guys. That's balls, man. You want that guy.
This guy won over the Mets. Mets fans like that.
But he's been an ace. He's been an ace before. I mean, he was the ace with the Blue Jays.
Yep.
So, I mean, this guy is an ace. I mean, and we have him as a number 2 only because we have Cy Grom, the greatest ever.
Cy Grominator, baby.
Rodriguez thinks that Stroman is Pedro 2.
No, it's not that. There is no Pedro 2.
Diminutive, lot of torque, good fastball, came in as an ace. Good number 2. You like him because he's like Pedro.
I like him because he's a guy that's not supposed to be doing what he's supposed to be doing. You're talking about the major leagues, and you're talking about these guys are monsters. The guy's 5'8". He's 2 inches. He's your height, Joe. Yeah. He's your height, okay? Yeah. And he's in the major leagues pitching against these monsters and competing against them. I mean, when you compete against guys like that and you have a 3.something, 3.23, 3.449, whatever it is, he has a pretty decent ERA, this kid. I mean, that's balls. That's why those type of guys to me are special. I mean, get a good, solid defense behind them, some guys that can put up runs, and we have a team that can put up runs, especially once I tell you who my other free agent pick is going to be.
Yeah, except for Cy Grom, that's who we can't score runs for. Poor guy.
Well, we're facing their ace too. That's the problem.
Yeah, and look, I don't know if there's been a Met that came in as free agent or a trade that has caught the attention of the Mets fans as much as Stroman did, just because he's out there. And he's the very first day
to New York.
Yeah, that very first day there was rumors that he was pissed off or whatever, but he squashed them immediately. I don't care if they're true or not anymore, but he squashed those guys those immediately. And he had his Mets moment in Colorado, 7 or 8 innings of no runs. He drove in the winning run. Who's got a second one?
JT.
I misunderstood you. Oh, Real Muto. You're talking about free agents after the 2020 season? That's what you mean, re-signing?
Yeah, after 2020. So after this season over.
Okay, I was looking at who was available now. Because honestly, I'd love to give Uncle Jason another chance because he could start a game, he could relieve a game, he could give us innings in the middle.
Keith, what do you think about that?
Give who a chance?
Uncle Jason. Jason Vargas. He looks
Vargas.
like my uncle. Yeah.
Come on.
I wanted Keith to respond because Keith got all kinds. Wait, he's cursing. He's throwing stuff around in his room.
He's throwing shit down at me right now.
Raining down upon you.
Come on,
shit emojis on your head.
Dude, let me tell you something. I was looking at the free agents who are available now. I misunderstood. I thought you meant right now 3 free agents. And I'm looking and I'm like, I'll give Uncle Jason a flyer. I mean, he had some.
I can't believe he's even saying this in real. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
He's like, yeah, you're right.
Come on.
Keith, you can come back now, Keith.
We'll never utter the name again.
We won't say Jason Vargas
Don't say the name. Don't say it.
It was a joke. Jason Vargas. I didn't mean it.
Oh, look at this. What is happening right now?
Uncle Jason is flying over city.
Is that he's hovering?
I come to haunt you because I fucking suck. He clicked on his mom because that's what I did for 2 years. How could you say him over? Yeah. So you got Mookie Betts out there. You got JT Realmuto.
No, dude.
That's what you said.
I told you I misunderstood, and I was looking at who's available right now.
Fwakata to your misunderstandings.
Well deserved.
All right, so look, here's what I'm going to do. I did at the end of last episode, but I'm going to really quickly go through some of the names so that we can, if you overlooked one or whatnot, you can change your mind on it. But all right, so rapid fire. Rodriguez just got up and walked off.
Too much Vargas talk.
Too much Vargas. All right, so let's go. Yoenis Cespedes, who is a free agent. Mookie Betts. Stanton, it is a player option. I cannot imagine him not opting in. That's $29 million for not doing much of anything there in old skanky stadium. Jake Arrieta. Masahiro Tanaka. Let's bring Rodriguez back in. Welcome. Tanaka, Jordan Zimmerman. JD Martinez is a player option again. I with his injury history, I don't see him opting out. Cheater George Springer, Yadier Molina, who Joe you mentioned earlier. He said that he would be open.
Yep.
If extension negotiations stalled, now or during the season, he's opening. I mean, but to be a 38-year-old catcher and making $20 million, that's pretty damn good, Yadi. That's pretty damn good.
Just catch the drum.
Yeah.
Catch the drum.
Yeah.
And help coach him and the pitchers. I'm all for it.
Don't want him. Good for him, but don't want him.
Yadi. All right. Then you got guys like Carlos Santana, who it's a team option.
Crap, we don't need him. We got Dominic.
$17.5 million. Shin Shu Chu, Jeff Samardzija, Marcelo Ozuna. Ozuna is an interesting option.
That is.
Jake Odorizzi, Trevor Bauer, Justin Turner, former. How is Justin Turner making $20 million a season?
He's 36 years old now, too. He's an old man.
He's making $20 million. Justin Turner.
He's a top 5 third baseman in the league, dude. We upchucked on that one. It was a bad decision.
True.
I wish it was our only one. Michael Brantley.
It is what it is,
Mike Leake. Nick Castellanos is
Mookie
a
Betts,
player.
dude. Mookie Betts is the
Mookie
guy. If we're
Mark
talking about
Melancon.
getting a guy,
Give me 3 more. Mark
oh
Melanson.
my God, he's
Nelson
gonna be-
Cruz, the 40-year-old.
Yeah,
No.
great. Guy can't even
Ian
move.
Ian Kennedy, D.D.
Wait,
Gregorius.
off on his head? No.
Oh, can I go
No,
one more?
no.
I'm
No.
going one more.
All right,
Jay
one.
Bruce.
Well, obviously, he's top of the list.
No, never.
It's a simple thing. Stroman, Real Muto, Betts, done deal. Next topic.
No real.
I don't
Muto.
see Real Muto on my list though. I think did he
I don't have
sign
him
a,
on my list.
Well,
I
maybe
got
I'm wrong.
Mookie Betts.
Look,
but you
I
know,
have-
Keith, I would be all in on that. You know, if we sign
signed for 2020,
Oh my God,
He's a
you're
free
a
agent
Muto butt
2021.
sucker.
so your list is for the dogs. Actually, no, because dogs are awesome. Your list is for the cats.
I spend my money somewhere else, man, and I keep and I bring Yadier Molina in cheap.
Rodriguez, I got one for you.
Don't say
Brett
his
Gard-
name.
Brett
No.
Gardner.
Oh, roids. You see that guy looks like he's gonna explode, like he's got veins on top of his head. He looks like the worm from Shazam. Wait till that movie
Uncle
comes out.
Jason. Wait, Uncle Jason's back.
Uncle
Oh
Jason's
my
back.
God, he's terrible. That guy looks like he's mental.
Wow.
He's a rager. Reuter.
All right, so who else do you guys got?
I got
Mookie
Kluber,
Betts,
Corey Kluber,
Corey Kluber.
and if universal DH, just one more, my last one. If there's a universal DH, and I'm bringing back Cespedes.
Dude, you're a sick man. Oh, God.
He's
Right now-
amazing.
But we have a built-in DH in Cano.
I trade
Huh?
Cespedes for a case of
Right,
something.
lefty righty. They don't
No.
have to play much.
Wait, hold on, Joe. You said you'd trade Cespedes for a case of what?
Sunflower seeds.
Look at Uncle Jason up there.
Uncle Jason agrees with me. Is he wearing lipstick? Wow. Damn. No, seriously, man. If you're gonna take Cespedes' salary, I don't want nothing back. Take him.
It depends on what you can get him for. He's a free agent, dude. That's the whole thing. It's based on incentives, and he's got to meet
If I
the
can get
incentives.
somebody to take his entire salary, go. Bye.
If I can get him as a free agent, like this year with very little money, and there's a DH in our league, now Cespedes can still rake.
Steve.
That's pertaining on this year, dude. That's depending on this year. Let's be real here.
Steve,
We got to put Cano.
have you followed
DH.
Cespedes? Do you see Cespedes taking very little money? Do you see that?
He's taking $10 million this year.
Do you see him taking 5?
I don't know. I see him taking 10. I'll pay 10.
He's not worth a case of sunflower seeds. No. Sorry.
That's okay, but I disagree. As a DH, I'll take him in a heartbeat. Farace, shut your face, all right?
If I
You know what you're doing, right?
I wasn't saying anything. If I say to you, we can sign Mookie Betts next year
Yes.
for 10 years.
10 years is too much. Nope. Won't do it.
I'm going to give you 3 options here.
Okay.
2 options. I'm going to give you 2 options here.
Give me one.
I'm going to give you one option here.
Getting one option now. There you go.
This is what Rodriguez wanted. Okay, 10 years
No, 10 years.
or he's not. I mean, nowadays it ain't gonna happen. Anything less than 7 years ain't getting. So it's somewhere between 7 and 10 years. So 7 years. How much you going for him?
400.
For Mookie Betts,
7 years, 400 million.
Backloaded.
he's the next best thing next to Trout. The only one better than him is Trout overall.
Wait,
The only
but
guy-
if backloaded, we might be paying $58 million for.
Nah, front load that. Front load that.
Front
That way,
load it.
When he starts to suck, it won't hurt as much when you're paying him $12 million still.
Keith, what would you offer Mookie Betts?
Sexual favor.
Okay, so honestly, whatever he gets, he's not coming to the Mets. And whatever he gets, it's going to be too much.
Not with that attitude, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
This is the wish list. This is a Debbie Downer time. Pooping milk.
Well,
Come on, dude.
It's not poop or milk.
Even I
asked me
said
a question outside the wish list, what I would offer him. So I'm not answering that question. The answer to that question is 7 years, 200 mil in that area.
Oh, we're not getting him.
Right.
No.
Exactly.
No.
He is
Not
not
with
worth.
that kind of
He's
money.
not worth 10
Never.
years. He's not worth. Nobody is
7
worth
years, 200 million. I pay him that.
Right. Exactly. But he's not going to take it. Wish list. I already gave my wish list. But you're asking me what I would want to pay him? 7 years, around 200 mil.
No.
He's not going to take it.
I'm going to push it. GM Steve, GM Farace is going to push it.
Go ahead, push.
9 years,
Not doing
$300 million.
Okay, listen. The thing is, he is going to go after hair flipper money. He's not going to take the contracts that we think is the right contract for him. He's going to go after hair flipper money. When he's a free agent next year, he's going to be 28. He's going.
Well, what did hair flipper get? 13, 330?
13 years, ridiculous.
360?
Ridiculousness. I could look it up. That's important. But the point is, he's going to be looking for that kind of money. And truthfully, he's not worth it. If you look at his last couple of years, and I'm not, let's get down to
You get a low ball Mookie Betts now? All right, let's see. Let's low ball Mookie Betts.
Let's
You got a pimple on his ass? How much can we take off of that?
Terminology here. If you want to get down to brass tacks,
there it is.
he has steadily, in a steadily declined year over year the last 2 years. So
you suck, Betts.
You're gonna pay him.
That's 30 million off
to perform the way he did 2 years ago.
30 million.
For another 10 years.
Yep.
It's not going to happen. He's
agree.
going to be a good ball player. He's going to get you wins. He's going to be great. He's not going to be great till he's 40. Okay, you want to secure a player like that? You got to sign him a year or two past 35 years old.
37. That's what my 9 years.
Dude, what are you talking about? The guy be like, he'd be an old 38.
No, I said 9 years. He's 28, so I'd be 37. So that's a year or two past 35.
That's old already. Done. I don't want 35-year-old outfielders running around. I want 25-year-old young bucks.
2018, he had an 80-point jump in his batting average. From 2018 to 2019, he then went ahead and had a 51-point drop in his batting average. What's the real Mookie Betts you're hiring here? Are you going to pay him for his 2018 stats? Are you going to pay him for his 2019 stats? What are you paying him here?
If you're paying the second best player in baseball.
I don't think he's the best. What do you say, second best?
Second best.
Without a doubt, he's top 5.
Maybe that's what you're paying him for. Top 5 in baseball. You know how many people on a team? How many people play baseball? He's in the top 5 in the world.
Not me.
Forget that Korean league, Japanese league,
Do the A's do that?
Norwegian league.
Do that? Who has a better successful approach to their team? The Mets or the A's? The Mets or the Twins? The Mets or the Devil Rays? Do any of those other 3 teams, aside from the Mets I just mentioned, do any of that? No.
We couldn't get by with a roster here. If we pulled,
who can't do shit and has got $30 million tied up in the payroll.
You got plenty of money. J-Lo is gonna buy us.
Wow.
J-Lo money.
J-Lo money.
We got that. Now we're good with the J-Lo money. All right.
J-Lo and J-Lo and A-Rod, they're gonna own the Mets. Can't wait.
So Keith,
Mookie Betts is on the Mets. If J-Lo and
I want Mookie Betts.
Then they're gonna
rehire Mookie Betts really bad.
And then they're
Mookie Betts
Murphy as the batting coach.
Mookie Betts, Michael Conforto. Mookie Betts, Michael
Eddie
Conforto.
Be a pitching coach.
Come on, man.
Who's the pitching coach?
Roger Clemens.
Get out of here! What are you doing?
No, and we're just gonna tank. Let's go all the way.
He's having a seizure.
Wait, but why are we tanking? Because we get Mookie Betts.
We get Mookie Betts. How's that tanking?
Tank?
You just told me that A-Rod and J-Lo own the team.
Oh, okay.
That's how we got Mookie Betts.
I see.
Okay, I don't want Mookie Betts. If they come in and they try to be flashy and hire Mookie Betts for 12 years, they're dumb.
Bring in
They gotta
Mookie Betts.
win
Not 12 years. 9 years.
Let's get Mookie Betts.
7 years.
9 years.
Hashtag Mookie Betts.
9 years.
J-Lo.
9
7
years.
years.
All right. Hilda DeStefano says hello from
Ew.
Brooklyn.
Hilda DeStefano.
You know
My
that.
cousin
that-
Broomhilda.
Ooh, Hilda. Oh,
All right. Let's
Hey, Hilda.
get to our Mount Rushmore. What say you guys? Let's do Mount Rushmore.
Oh, my cousin Hilda's husband is a Skanky fan.
Oh,
But he's
no.
all right.
He's okay? Okay.
Yeah, well, no, but yeah, he's all right though.
All right. Who wants to go first on our Mount Rushmore of Mets? Top 4 Mets all time.
Joe.
you don't put Gooden or Strawberry up there. They
The
destroyed
cocaine
it,
effect.
broke our heart. I understand what Timmy was saying before, but I do. But no, I'm sorry. I gotta go. Casey. Casey has to be up there. Casey is part of the Mets Rock Foundation.
Who's there?
Casey Stengel,
Oh, Casey Stengel. Okay.
Studio 37.
Studio 37. Tom Seaver,
Deuces.
Mike Piazza,
Deuces.
David Wright.
Deuces.
I like that list.
That's not a
There you
bad
go.
list either.
Little Stengel in there.
We're all Met fans, so
Very
more
well
than likely
done.
none of us will
Stengel.
pick a wrong list.
Well,
Go ahead.
it covers the spectrum of Mets from 60.
It covers, yeah.
Yeah.
It covers everything. Wow. For sure it does. That's amazing, dude.
Thank you.
My orange.
All right, Rodriguez, you want to go next?
Sure, I'll go next. I'm gonna start with, if I'm going Mount Rushmore and I need to start a game, I'm gonna go with the franchise Tom Seaver. Then somebody's got to catch him, so I will go with the greatest hitting catcher of all time, Piazza, to catch Seaver. Because he's everything else he's really good at. Then I will take the captain, just because he's the captain. He's Captain America. He can will us a win. He raises his hand and he catches balls like falling backwards. I mean, the guy's amazing. The captain. And the last one was really, really up for debate because I wanted to get a guy that just makes me feel like me. Like, this is the guy that I want to go into battle with. And there's a lot of other guys, but I'm going to take the other captain, Hernandez. I'm going to take Keith Hernandez there and put him up there. And I'm going to go into battle with those guys. I think I can win some games.
All right. Keith?
Not bad.
Cardinal Sutton.
Screw you, Cardinals, Cubs, Braves, Astros, Yankees, Rays.
I have to go with
Bootlickers.
Carlos Beltran, Daniel Murphy, Benny Agbayani, and Seaver's on everybody's list. So I wanted to pick somebody different just to be different because I knew all you guys are most of us would pick Seaver, but I can't
Because he was great.
His name is the franchise for a reason. So Tom Seaver. Then you got to go
He's
with
not you, Farace.
battery
He's
made
smart.
for him, like Rodriguez said. Definitely Mike Piazza, the best hitting catcher in Mets history, and there's been some good catchers in Mets history. You go Hundley, you can go even Brody, of course Carter, but Piazza is definitely our best. He polarized the team, and when he came in, it was just so electrifying, and he was so clutch. Then you got to go with the Captain America, David Wright. David Wright, he is Mr. Met with a small head. Fourth one was really hard. I actually started really digging into stats. I was looking up some older players, Jerry Brody, Kuzman. Then I was with Hernandez. And I really got stuck hard on the fourth one, and I decided that I needed to throw in an 86 team member there. And then that took me to another struggle because, like Doc, how many people, like they said on Loudmouths, how many people had their own building? You know, he was so polarizing, but his downfall was really rapid. Then there's Jacob deGrom. Like, how do I put him over somebody in the 86? It's so hard, you know. I'm like, so my conflict was Jacob deGrom and putting somebody on the 86 team in there. And I went with Jacob deGrom because the guy is back-to-back Cy Young. I know he's still playing. Back-to-back Cy Young. He dominates. Him, and I know everybody hates to say it, but him, Harvey, and a couple of other people on the team were really catalyst to us getting to the World Series in 2015. So Jacob deGrom is my fourth pick.
Okay. All right. Jake deGrom. So mine, because Rodriguez thinks I'm very brilliant.
They're going to make any sense. They're not going to make any sense.
Number one, Tom Seaver. What?
Jill says you're picking Buchowski.
What's wrong with Buchowski?
There's nothing wrong with Buchowski.
Beltran, Daniel Murphy, Benny Agbayani,
Bobby Bo, Timo Perez,
Vince Coleman, George Foster.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Todd Zeal, Keith Rodriguez's favorite.
I was at that game.
He did nothing, that guy, for us his whole career. He did nothing.
Todd Zeal? He caught for us.
You guys act like he did something. You guys act like he was actually a good ball player.
What do you got going on there?
I don't know.
What happened? What is
You're in a peppermint swirl?
It's like super swirly.
You're in a peppermint swirl.
It looks good, though.
It looks like a mountain. You know, it's a skiing. Ski. All right. Let me get to mine here. All right. The franchise has to be on there. So that's number one. I find it ridiculous that you guys are two assholes, Rodriguez and Keith, that for the Mount Rushmore, you choose Mike Piazza, but you gave me the hardest time in the world, and you picked Gary Carter when we did our thing 2 years ago.
Giving you a hard time.
Did you think he was going to forget?
Yeah, no, come on. You deserve a hard time.
No, because you know what? This is about winning a world championship. And the fact that that Stevens pitching to him, I'll take Piazza.
No,
What do you mean?
Steve, you read it all wrong. Mount Rushmore, not who you would pick to win a championship. Mount Rushmore. Who are your four Mets that deserve to be immortalized in stone?
Why are you looking up?
You can't. I'm going to look you right in the eyes here. You can't pick Mike Piazza for your Mount Rushmore, but have Gary Carter as your all-time Mets catcher. You can't do it.
I can't.
Joe, I need a ruling.
I can't.
Yeah, no, he's right. He's right. Well,
jerks.
All-time catcher means who you'd want in the game. You know, Mount Rushmore is who meant the most to the
Okay, I can do whatever I want. Stop crying. Seriously, I mean, it's like 2 years of tears on this, bro. I gave you a little hug. I gave you a little pat.
But after 2 years, you both proved me right. I appreciate it.
I'll still take Carter in a World Series game.
What? That wasn't the
Carter. Did you see Carter take Eric Davis down? Have you ever seen Mike Piazza do that? Carter tackled his ass.
Who cares? What did that do?
Nothing.
And then he batted 220 for us for the next 3 years.
That's what happened.
So
what's your picks? Get on with it.
So choose.
When Menendez shows up, dude, we had the Yachty conversation an hour ago, man. Where were you? I'm sorry. Back to Mount Rushmore. Go ahead. Sorry.
Clearly, it's Mike Piazza. No Mount Rushmore for the Mets would be complete without David Wright. And I, too, struggled between DeGrom and a member of the 86 team. But I went the opposite way of Keith, and I went with Keith Hernandez to fill out my top 4. So Rodriguez and I have the same exact Mount Rushmore.
That was the struggle I had between DeGrom and Hernandez.
Pick Bobby Valentine or Casey Staples. I mean, you have to have a manager on your Mount Rushmore. It's not
a non-athlete like you would have one.
Yeah,
athletes don't want no manager up there.
Yeah.
Still in the brain, no.
We'll fight later.
All right, so who do we have on all 4 of the list? We had David Wright, Mike Piazza,
Tom Seaver,
and Tom Seaver. So it was just that Keith went with DeGrom, Joe went with Stengel. We needed a managerial presence, and Rodriguez and I, of all the two to agree, went with Keith Hernandez.
That never happens.
It's happened a lot today.
It's true.
It's a terrible day.
It's true. All right. That'll about wrap it up for us on this amazing Wednesday evening on the East Coast. As always, let's go around the virtual room. Anybody have any closing remarks, Rodriguez?
I just want to say, keep being safe. Even though Farace's ideas are usually wrong, today he hit the jackpot for some reason. Weird reason in heaven. Constellations just lined up properly. Something happened. Maybe he's growing hair back. Who knows? There's a miracle going on. He agreed with me. Yeah, what's up with that Yankee hat? Is that a Yankee hat?
No. Wow. What would you say that for?
I would never.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Yankees suck. Love to
you've said
I hate you, Nick. Yankees suck. What?
Nick?
What are you gonna say? My cousin's husband. He's a Skanky fan.
What's up with all your cousins? But no, it's just the one cousin that's a Yankee fan. Max is a Mets fan.
Max is a Mets fan. I don't even know what Hilda is, but she grew up in a Mets household, so I'll leave it at that. Okay, her husband's a Skanky, dirty Skanky. He's all right.
Poor girl.
Poor girl. He's all right. He's all right. Anyway, be safe. Have a good week.
Yeah. All right, Keith.
Night.
Stay beautiful, San Diego.
There it is. Go, Joe.
Yeah, everything Rodriguez said. Stay safe. Keep routine. Figure out routines. Don't go too crazy. Governor DeSantis, go screw yourself, and let's go Mets.
Have sex with yourself, he said.
Joseph.
Governor DeSantis.
For everything we're all going through, it's fun to come get away, talk baseball for a little while. Everybody wants it back. Everybody's desperate for sports. Come join us. Have some fun. Enjoy talking about baseball. Have a whiskey. Stay safe. And
with root beer.
With public service announcement. Do not try mixing whiskey with root beer. Big mistake. Don't do it.
Let's go. Definitely don't do it twice in one day.
Don't do it twice.
All right.
I tried it.
All right. So look for the website CineSportsTalk.com. There's some shows this week that went on. Kiva catches up with the show that Scott has been doing with his wife in the Down Under, as she catches up on some of the movies that we've all seen. Get it, Joe? Get it? Yeah. Yesterday was the Just Too Sweet show with Tim, Eric, and the crew. They talked about all things wrestling. Got us right now, all things Mets baseball. Friday night, episode number 3 of the Kyle and Jader and Kyle show. Sorry about that. They may or may not. Nice. That's a nice. We got good stuff going on right now.
That is nice.
No, zero distractions at all. They will on Friday. They will have a few special guests to talk through some movie news, and then of course in the next several days we'll announce we're gonna do a new on streaming show, new on Netflix, Hulu, Apple Plus, Apple TV Plus. Sorry, your sister's ass, all that good stuff. So that's this week. Again, as the other guys have said, stay safe. It was an honor agreeing with Rodriguez
Your privilege
all
and
show.
our pleasure.
My privilege to agree with Rodriguez. And I thank you guys after 2 years finally just saying, Steve, Farace, you're right. Mike Piazza is better than Gary Carter.
Never
And
said it.
as Keith disappears in the... Is that your new miming thing?
If he's a mime, it just makes him exponentially worse.
All right, that'll do it for us this week. We'll talk to you guys next week, next Wednesday, where we will continue to dig for treasure for Mets topics. Oh, whoa! Look at this! Look at this!
Wow, look at that.
This is good. that was fantastic.
They love it.
Yeah. All right.
That's pretty
That we got to go on that note. We'll talk to you guys next week. Peace out, everybody.
Later.
Peace.